All right, guys. Try to look at the face real quick. All right. Okay, guys, we're going to make a panzanella bread salad using all fresh stuff from the market here. I'm actually going to toast the cubes of bread. I have some Ira Powers ciabatta. This one is actually flavored. He has two different breads. He does a great job. You guys know Ira? Yes. You get bread from Ira? Very good. I'm genuinely curious. Why do you come to the market? Produce. Me? Oh, you're so nice, guys. I pay her to say that. I have a rosemary ciabatta here, and I'm using the still onion rosemary ciabatta from Ira Powers. And this is, I'm going to actually toast this. A bread salad like this was actually probably first designed to have like day old bread used. Okay. Now, granted, usually we have nice fresh product around and aren't really, sitting on a bunch of day old bread. But if you are, this is a great application for that. So, but I have some Ira Powers. Again, I just grabbed a couple loaves from him earlier, and I just cut this one into cubes. But I'm going to toast it up a little bit, so it has a little more body and can withstand this dressing. I'm going to make a sherry vinaigrette, and I'm going to toss this all together with a bunch of these fresh veggies from the market. So you could add any kind of vegetable you want, really, but there are some traditional classic ones like the onion and cucumber and the tomato. I have a couple of heirloom tomatoes here that I cut up, and again, this is all going to get tossed together, and then you're going to try it. You guys want to try it, right? Two of you? Just two of you? Oh, you want? Oh, three of you. Okay, cool. All right. I'll let all of you try it, okay? So have any of you ever made a salad like this? No. Panzanella, bread salad? Excellent. Very good. Very good. I also actually have some fennel. One of the vendors right over here had these little fennel bulbs, and they're not really big yet, but fennel is excellent. Very nice. And so I just cut one of those little fennel bulbs also. Okay, let me get this thing blazing, and we'll just give a quick toast on the bread. Come on, there you go. All right, questions so far? Again, everything's from the market. Well, almost everything. Well, heck, actually, even my spices, my pepper and my salt, I get from Starlight Herb right over here. And I'm actually going to use one of her Gourmet Delight blend in the vinaigrette. Okay? She has a lot of great ones. This one I used a week or two ago, the herb salad blend, and she has a lot of excellent ones. Actually, the kitchen sink blend is really versatile, and I use it for a lot of stuff. So, anyways. Let me toast this. We're going to get the pan hot. We're going to throw a little olive oil in there. And I'll just give a quick toast. Not too much. That's too much olive oil. No. Olive oil's good for you, right? Heck yeah. So whenever you saute anything, you want to get pan hot, add the fat, get that hot, then add the food. Okay? If you add the food prematurely, it's going to soak up the oil, right? But in this case, it sears it, sautés it, browns it, toasts it, right? And it doesn't just soak into the bread like a sponge, okay? The exception to that would probably be mushrooms. Whether the pan's hot or cool or just like warm, the mushrooms are going to soak whatever you get, okay? So in this case, though, I'm just going to make sure my pan is hot. It's smoking, so it's hot, right? Cook's rule number one: when it's smoking, it's cooking. When it's burnt, it's done, right? So that's worth the price of admission alone, right? There you go. So how high? I don't know. Get it hot, okay? I can't even see the flame out here cooking outside anyways. I know the pan's hot. I hear some sizzle when I add the product, right? Okay, and I know that if I can make decent food, well, actually, I guess you'll judge whether or not it's decent. You'll judge that in a few minutes. How pretentious. I know that if I can make decent chow in a park on a camp burner, can you do it at home? I'm assuming you can, okay? So, again, I'm just toasting up the bread, the little croutons, and then I'm going to toss it with all this stuff and make a bread salad for you to try. So, again, panzanella, and again, usually it'd be day-old bread that someone might use to make this particular salad, but in this case, I'm just putting a quick toast on these cubes of bread. And again, I used Ira Powers ciabatta. He has two different flavors. He also has a focaccia or any of the bread. Use whatever bread you like. Don't run out and buy a loaf special, then let it hang out on your counter for a few days to make this salad. Use what you have. And that's the beauty of this, is that, hey, if you don't have onion or that fennel or that cucumber, it doesn't really matter. Just toss it together. But I'm going to show you how to make a vinaigrette. A vinaigrette's commonly made with an oil component and an acid component, be that citrus juice or vinegar, okay? And commonly, vinaigrettes You'll see, all the recipes that you're reading, they're going to say roughly 4 parts oil to 1 part acid. In my opinion, that's way too heavy. The more oily mouthfeel. I do roughly a 1-to-1 ratio. And then, depending on the vinegar, if it's too tart and acidic, tart, sour, and acidic, those are synonyms. Okay? They all mean the same thing. And so if you do a 1-to-1 ratio of oil to acid and it's too sour or tart, then just simply adjust the oil up to where it's more palatable for you. And really the vinegar can determine that, because some vinegars are more sweet, some are more tart. Okay? All right. Now there's other components that are going to find their way into our vinaigrette. I'm actually going to use a little bit of anchovy as a seasoning, a salty component in the sherry vinaigrette that I'm going to make for this salad. Okay. So we good on the croutons? I think we're good on the croutons. Okay, so why don't you know what, before I make the vinaigrette, let me show you a couple of tricks. Whenever I used to cut peppers, I used to cut them in half and then dig out the membranes and the seeds, and it would take a long time. So why don't we just take the pepper and just cut off the outer panels that we want to use, and then just toss that center core, okay? So you learned something yet? All right, then we can go. We're done. Go. No? See you. No? Okay. You want to try it? All right. So I do clean up the membranes a little bit sometimes. So you guys have yourself a decent chef's knife, right? You have a very nice set of shun. Very good. This just happens to be Wusthof. It's called Wusthof. Okay. It's a nice hunk of German steel. Okay. It really works for me. I like the heft. But use whatever is most comfortable for you. Don't use the type of knife that you're seeing me use. Go to a kitchen store and handle some of them. And ideally, they'll let you actually cut a few. Or a few things with it. Okay. So they'll let you run the knife through something, if it's a good kitchen store. Right? Or buy online if you already know what brand you want. Okay. This is the 8-inch chef's knife. It's the most common knife I use. I use this 95% of the time. Okay, once in a while I'll grab a paring knife for something. Once in a while I'll grab a syringe to cut some bread. Okay, so again, 8-inch chef's knife designed to be used in this manner. You don't need to hear a bunch of racket. Okay, this manner. Get to where that becomes habit for you. Okay, and then of course keep your fingertips curled back. All right, and I just sliced the onion. I cut tomato into chunks. I sliced this little fennel bulb, and I simply sliced the cucumber. Okay, so I'm pretty sure you guys can do this, right? Any questions? No? Yeah. When can we eat? Did I hear you say? I'm sorry. I do. I'm a freelance chef. I do whatever you need me to do, whenever you need me to do it.
They're right over there.
I started giving my time to the Saturday market in Eagle here when I first came to Idaho in 2006. And, you know, my mom's from a small farm in Montana, and anything I can do to promote the local vendors, the local suppliers. But tell me, why would you buy produce here instead of the grocery store? Very good. Freshly harvested. I'm sorry? Excellent values, right? So if we eat according to the seasons, we're getting stuff at the height of flavor, peak of flavor, we're getting a more nutritious product, we're supporting a local economy. There's a lot of reasons why one may choose to purchase stuff here. But do you know the average tomato or head of lettuce on the grocery store shelf traveled roughly 2,000 miles to get there? On average. And so there's a lot of reasons why one may want to buy their produce here. But you decide. You decide for you why you want to do that. So I just have fun doing impromptu cooking. All right. Here's our bread. Tell you what, I'm going to probably toss some of the here. We'll just build it right here. Cool. I have a bunch of stuff here that I just cut earlier for you. Tomatoes, cucumbers. I don't know. You think it's going to be worth eating? No? Yeah. I'm going to make a sherry vinaigrette to dress this, with which to dress this salad.
Yes, please.
To dress the salad with. I didn't want to end that sentence in a preposition. Which to dress it. Sorry, I went to public school, guys. My kids tell me I ain't got no good grammar. Okay. So I was doing some consulting for a restaurant out towards Marsing, out in the heart of the wine region out there. And I also do some classes and some wine dinners for them. And the restaurateurs actually said, oh, should we buy some good knives? We noticed you bring your own knives. Should we buy some good knives for my kitchen crew? I said, absolutely not. You should let them buy. Because if someone's going to shell out $100, do you think they're going to respect it more? Do you think they're going to take better care of it? Absolutely. All restaurants have a bunch of house knives. You know what I mean? Knives anyone can do. You can run them through the dishwasher, whatever. But you should actually, if you're a serious culinarian, which I know you are, because you're hanging around for some good food. I can assume you are, sorry. You're going to respect it more. You're going to treat it kindly. You're going to wash it, dry it, put it away yourself, right? So you should definitely have handcrafted like peppermill and a pinch full of salt, right? A nice cutting board from Richard right over here. And yes, I buy stuff. Okay, guys. You're like, no, of course you like it. It's free. No, I actually buy stuff. Anyways, down at the Senate, before the Capitol went under renovation, cooking for the lawmakers, I had Richard's cutting boards down there and used them every day. And they held up beautiful. Beautiful. So get yourself a nice little set like this and have it next to your stove. And then when your friends come in, they're going to love you off. Right? And the food's automatically going to taste better just because you have to sit. So I'm going to make a vinaigrette. I'm going to mash some garlic and some anchovy. And anchovies aren't used so it's like a fish salad. It's a layer of flavor in with all the other aromatics and the other salt that I'll season this with, or sorry, with which to season the salad. I have some lemon zest. I have fresh garlic. I'm just gonna mash this. I have a little bit of Starlight Herbs Gourmet Delight. Excellent, really versatile. Throw it in soups, throw it in dressings, toss it with your salads, and so forth. So I'm gonna give it a generous hit of that. And just for kicks, let's throw some herb salad blend in there. Since we're dealing with herbs and salad, sorry, seems like a natural fit, right? Herb salad blend and Gourmet Delight. And just for some abrasion, I want some salt in there right now. Generally, you season at the end though. I just kind of want to see how coarse it's coming out. There we go. We're going to taste and season as we go, right? Before we serve. I kind of feel sorry for individuals who automatically grab the salt and pepper shaker when they get a plate of food in front of them. Oh, but I always thought my food anyways. I hear that. Taste it first. And if your food is seasoned, we don't season food to make it taste salty. You salt to heighten other flavors. But if we can get near where we want the finished product to be with herbs or citrus zest, or in this case, again, the anchovy is going to lend another layer of flavor in the sherry vinaigrette. If we can get near to where we want to be using those components and then freshly milled pepper, then you're not going to need much salt anyway. When salt's not bad for you, excessive salt is where we may have concerns, but that's going to be when you're eating all those prepared foods, which I'm encouraging you to get away from. Now, come on, I'm no ideal model of health, okay? But when it comes to your weekly meals, try to get some products here, buy some local stuff, and try to substitute maybe 1 or 2 meals a week that you would have purchased prepared product for something that's nice and fresh that you toss together. Turn off the electric devices and actually spend a couple of minutes at the table with someone you love. All right? Is it a pretty good plan? Pretty good idea? Hey. All right. Questions so far? What? No? Oh, here we go. I don't need to know the dirt, all right? No. Keep it to yourself. Charlie Trotter owns a restaurant in Chicago, and he said this about using the ingredients. When it comes to the cuisine itself, I can pass on one thing that I know for sure. Ingredients are everything. More important than profound culinary ideas or masterful technique is the commitment to using only the best possible ingredients. Do you think this tomato is better to use than the one at the grocery store that smells and tastes like the box it was shipped in? Oh, sorry, that wasn't a subliminal direct in your answer. Okay? Best possible ingredients. Not necessarily luxury products, but foodstuffs at the height of their flavor. Potatoes just out of the ground, berries right off the bush, line-caught fish straight from the sea. If you start with the finest, freshest, and purest tasting ingredients, it is genuinely hard to go wrong. Sophisticated cooking techniques and creativity are bonuses, but the foundation of truly fine cuisine is rooted in the foodstuffs themselves. All right? Now you're ready to bite. Now we can go, right? Oh, Oh, we actually want to taste this stuff.
Try nectarine.
Okay, so I have some aromatics. I have some citrus zest and juice. I have some garlic. I have a little bit of anchovy that I'm simply mashing into a paste. And then I'm going to make this into a dressing with which to dress the salad. So what do we have in here already? What kind of bread? We use some ciabatta from Ira Powers, right? You could use any bread you have. Any decent rustic artisan will, right? Because then it has a little more body and holds up well. What else do we have? What kind of produce? We have tomatoes. I'll give you a hint. The answer is right here. Okay? Right? Okay?
Onions.
I'm pretty sure you guys can do this if I can make it in a part. Okay? Right? So I toasted the bread because it's nice and fresh. I toasted the bread because it's nice and fresh, and otherwise use day old bread. That's how a salad such as this was invented. Okay? It was simply utilizing the product you have on hand. I tell you, one of the, it's almost kind of a curse to live in a society where we have such an abundance. I mean, we shop with forklifts. Come on, you know, Costco, you can't get out there for less than $100. Okay? But the fact of buying a local product, pristine condition, getting a great value, supporting the local economy, is that I tell you, you're going to eat well. And when you spend an extra buck or two, instead of just getting the cheap stuff in bulk at the Mega Mart, we're probably going to monitor our intake a little more closely. Maybe not eat quite as much, and hopefully we're going to enjoy it. We're going to hang out with someone we love and enjoy a nice meal together. Okay? Communion, if you will. Sherry vinegar. I tell you, in restaurants, red wine vinegar is a common workhorse vinegar, but I don't use red wine vinegar very often. I use sherry vinegar, I use champagne vinegar, which is the white wine vinegar, I use balsamic vinegar, and I use seasoned rice vinegar for sushi rice and stuff like that. But I use that in dressings as well. So those are the 4 vinegars I have on hand all the time. Okay. So I have olive oil and sherry. Now remember the ratio I told you earlier, when I do a vinaigrette, again, common vinaigrettes are going to be 4-part oil and 1 part acid, right? I do a more equal ratio, 1-to-1, taste, adjust as needed. Okay, I want it more bright and vibrant and less oily. Personal preference. Now, does that mean you have to do it that way? No, making that decision in your home is called cooking. Okay, I want you to make the decision. Don't do it exactly how I did just because you saw me do it this way. I'm going to need a little more volume to moisten this well, so I'm just going to bump my volume up a little bit. Again, olive oil and sherry vinegar. Sherry vinegar is from Spain. So we're doing an Italian-themed salad. And let's just see where we stand here. Whoops. All right.
For my size, I like them a little bit more.
Yeah, that's good.
So we want, how many do you want? How many pieces do you want?
It's okay. Like to try now?
Okay, does this look like it's worth eating, guys? Yeah, I think so too. I think so too. Panzanella, written right there on the board. Panzanella. Panzanella. It's a bread salad, enhanced with a bunch of veggies, dressed with a vinaigrette. I mean, you wouldn't even necessarily have to dress it if you don't want to. Let's say you're going on a picnic, but just take it like this. And yeah, I mean, I like to dress it. But once you dress it, in my opinion, it needs to be served relatively soon. Oh. So we're a little acidic, okay? All right. So I'm going to hit it with olive oil
Jake, try the piece.
and try it again. Okay. Sorry, I'm really particular about no double dippies in kitchens. But you're digging that, right? Okay. You're not complaining, I noticed. Okay. You're not complaining. Okay, check this out. I have some basil oil, actually. It's olive oil that I put actually a handful of basil and a handful of parsley into. And just whirled it. Just for kicks, why don't we do that? And I use herb-infused and spice-infused oils to garnish plates. Okay, so I'll show you when I present something like, when I present this, I'll give you an idea of how I may plate something like this if I were selling it to you. Do you remember one of the first couple weeks? Actually, it happened a couple times early on in the market, when the market began in May. I did the demo plate to show you how to plate something like that, and like some young man came up and like, you know, carted off with it. And yes, he still had all his digits intact. So.
Absolutely.
I smell it before tasting it? Well,
Burns your nose, you probably don't want to put it in your mouth.
you can actually smell far more flavor compounds than you can taste on your palate. What can you taste on your palate, on your tongue? You're welcome. Bitters, I don't know. I knew you would know. You can taste a few different flavor compounds on your palate, but you can taste a lot more. You get a lot more indicators, the aromatic, through the senses, through the sense of smell. That's why food tastes flat when you have a cold. You lose that sensory intake there. Okay? All right. You have to be really delicate about this, by the way.
We want them a little firm.
Okay, now I didn't add much salt. All I did was just a little bit earlier in the vinaigrette. Okay, I think we're going to be good to go. Let me just give a taste and I'll serve some up for you. Okay, any questions? So you guys like coming to the market? Okay, tell me what you get when you're here at the market. Besides a laugh. Oh, sorry.
Education.
Education, nice. Very good. I'm sorry? Local produce, very good. What else?
Yeah.
New recipes, yeah. And you can see Laura here. For $5, she'll sell you these DVDs of prior weeks. 1 hour DVDs, 2 30-minute demos, right there for you. So if midweek you need your Cordell fixed, no, just kidding. Just kidding. I'm just kidding. I actually get embarrassed. I don't watch them. What? You're not supposed to agree with me. Jeez. Jeez, I get no respect.
Which one did you get?
Probably rightfully so. Okay. Ready to go?
I make always something called Christmas lamb.
One more little taste here. Get a couple different things. See where we stand.
Different, you know. Last week was two.
Yeah, there's 2 new ones out this week.
Oh,
Those 2 top ones, the blue and red writing, those are new.
Yep.
We have Kayla's and we have 7 transfers.
Okay, so I may plate something like this. I mean, you can just heap it on the plate if you want. I don't care. I don't really care how you serve your food. But here's some ideas for you. Now, it's not all going to stay together, but this just kind of gives me an indicator with portion size. And I'm not even worried about a little bit sliding onto the plate. How you doing? Little purple basil. All right, so you're going to go buy wonderful produce from these vendors. Grab some Ira Powers bread, grab some of these things from Starlight Herbs, right? If you consent, then I'll actually let you taste it. Actually, let me put these herbs on in a second. Here is, as it disassembles in front of me. Oh, very good. Very good. All right. So you might put something like some of these herb-infused oils on your plate.
The second time last night, some of my friends are showing what you have.
Yeah. All right. So you're getting some value out of these demos, huh? So.
Home.
Okay. And just for kicks, let's use. There's a Southwest chili oil right there. Again, I'm just looking for color. Okay.
We have to record every week.
Oops. That one got away from me. Okay, there you go. I generally wouldn't use 3. Too many. Too much color. Competing. Trying too hard. Okay. And you might go something like that with some fresh herbs. So there you go. Bread salad featuring local produce from where? From where? Saturday Market, right? Okay. So I'm going to make you work for your taste, okay? Let's get the chant going while I'm getting some samples out for you. Hey, chef, let's eat. You can do it, right? Okay, ready? Hey, chef, let's